Thanks to Sinn Féin for preparing this motion and bringing it forward. The toll increase is just another example of the arms of the state imposing greater costs on people during the cost of living crisis. And I know much of what I would have said has already been said about the money that these toll companies are making. But Minister, you're only too well aware of the many proposals that have been put to you as the Minister and the Minister that was here before you in relation to, are we getting value for money? As Climate Minister, you know that the toll barrier at Dublin Port, although it's free for trucks, it causes 100 tonnes of carbon emissions a day to be put into the atmosphere. It affects our lung health in the worst possible way. And what's the cost of that? You've already told me on the floor here that it's a safety issue. They can't remove that barrier. So the geniuses that we have in TII are unable to come up with a solution that no other country in Europe uses, a toll at the entrance to a port tunnel. 40,000 litres of fuel a day being expended and wasted. That's a cost of 80,000 to the hauliers who operate the trucks, and God knows what it costs us as a country to pay the fine to the EU for the excessive NOx emissions it causes. So this is all counterintuitive. It's a bit disingenuous to turn around to TII with a set gen in the Department of Transport getting a very good wage, who should have identified this issue as arising, because for years we've all known that the cost of tolls are linked to inflation. And at the worst possible time and the worst possible cost of living crisis, we get notification that the toll is going to rise. Equally, we charge trucks in this country based on their size. They pay more than any other vehicle using the tolls. That's incorrect. The bigger the truck, the more axles it has, the less damage it does to the roads, Minister. That's the idea. The weight is distributed across more axles, causing less damage. They should actually be paying less. They should be in the realm of coach transport, at least €2.30 or €3, whatever it is. Instead, they're now almost €7. Like this 12 million that you've saved, as you see it, from the people and the consumer, it still has to come out as someone has paid tax on it. 12 million that has been raised through the Exchequer. The reality is that we have to look at these contracts and see if we're getting value for money. And the value for money for me would be not to have vehicles stopping unnecessarily, expending fuel in order to raise revenue. We should have every toll in this country the same as the M50. Every truck in Europe uses an express lane rather than expend fuel by taking off, having paid a toll. It's a ridiculous scenario. At least, Minister, through the PPPs, put express lanes in and utilise it and give us value for money. Because if not, we're only robbing Peter to pay Paul and paying it back through climate measures which we haven't complied with. You know, we sign up to emission targets. How can we make them when obstacles like this are put in our way? Expending 40,000 unnecessary litres of fuel into Dublin City every day of the year. It's outrageous, and I hope that if nothing else comes out of this, that's what will come out of it. Thank you, Count Cormac.